Don't forget cards to get cards at RitaYanez.com. And so am I. Under your bed.
Turn on the light! Turn on the light! Turn on the light!
Hi there, Taurus. This is your weekly reading for the week of November 30th. This is going to be a much improved week because last week kind of sucked on a lot of levels. I think I've told you my dysfunction before, but it was only me and my 3 sons at dinner. And it's still, Thanksgiving still had to have like a turkey try to poke its head right up my butt because whatever it was just not comfortable. Still had to have the dysfunction. I can't believe it sometimes. It's like the ultimate Murphy's Law. Don't do anything, don't go near anywhere, and it still ends up on my plate. So I hope your week last week was better than mine. On Monday, the card that you've drawn is the 10 of Pentacles, and this is a card that indicates that you're feeling like there's a real potential for a happy family, a happy future, and maybe even some benefits that you can leave your downline, or maybe there is some real benefit that comes to you through somebody higher up on the family totem tree, and we've got that idea that somehow this creates stability for the future. For those of you that don't have stability yet or haven't been able to secure the finances to do one thing or another, just know this is an excellent card, even if it is a one-week reading, to realize that there's real potential in your future for peace and harmony. On Wednesday, the card that you've drawn is the King of Swords, and the King of Swords is a guy who's great. He's an intellect. He's amazing. He is often associated with attorneys, lawyers, barristers, solicitors. He also can be associated with doctors, dentists, and IT professionals. So if you need some advice on something that pertains to legacy, prosperity, dynasty, the downline, future generations, maybe it's just all about your tax returns and you're hoping that things go well for you next year during tax season time. The King of Swords also wants to help give you some useful advice. He's not a person of many words because he feels there's no sense in having to say too much. He could be associated with the air signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Not necessarily, but he could just be an excellent communicator, or he could represent you in some way. Maybe you're looking for a tax attorney who is able to represent you in front of the IRS, go for it. This is a person, he may say it just very blunt, but that's fine because whatever it is, you just need to know. Now, on this day, we have a few astrological aspects that are interesting. We've got Mercury in Sagittarius trining Uranus in Aries. Then we have Mercury in Sagittarius squaring Chiron in Pisces, Mercury in Sagittarius sextiling Apollo in Libra, and then we've got the Sun in Sagittarius sextiling Ceres in Aquarius. So the bottom line is there could be some surprising situations, but even if they're somewhat painful or you're disappointed about people, your friends, or a group, it's really the way that you're going to heal this. Maybe some of you have different lifestyles, or your family unit doesn't look like the next door neighbor's family unit. Maybe there's 2 moms, maybe there's 2 dads, maybe there's one missing. Regardless of this, this is a day that even those complex dynamics can be worked through. And maybe you just get a brilliant idea on how you're going to see the world from here on out, right? And that's a wonderful thing to do. Life is all about observation, and it's a one heck of a crazy ride, but truly so many experiences that we can enjoy well into our golden years. So don't waste time worrying too much about what people think of you. Just do what you need to do. On Wednesday, we've got the King of Wands in reverse, and he's a jerk. So the King of Wands in reverse could be a fire sign: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I don't know what's up with this person. Maybe they think they're too big for their britches, and they can be acting out in a way that, you don't even understand. Now, one thing I will warn you, that because we've got Mercury and Sagittarius opposing Psyche and Gemini, is that maybe this person says something that's not very nice, but it probably has some implication, connotation, or it makes an indentation in your pocketbook because Gemini is a ruler of your 2nd solar house in your natal chart, solar astrology. And maybe you have to say, pretty much, I love you, but I can't keep supporting you this way. Or, you know what, I just don't even see you making an effort to help out when I'm the one funding your pipe dreams and I don't even get a pipe in return. So just know that this individual is very flaky, prone to temper tantrums or fit of rage. And I don't think he's going to, pull out the butcher knife and hurt anybody. But you never know. If people disrespect you, you need to call it out and make sure that this person understands. Now, that doesn't mean you have to get into a fist fight with them, even if you do want to kick him in the nuts. But, I would just let it go, because it just doesn't seem like it's worth having a discussion with somebody who doesn't know how to behave themselves anyway. And this is really where you can figure out, hey, look, I've done enough. I don't have to suffer these consequences that I didn't earn. And this is a card in a position with the astrology that could indicate that this individual has created more of an impact in your life than you realize. And you look back and go, what the hell? Better late than never. Thursday, the card that you've drawn is a Chariot, and this is a card that indicates you're feeling balanced, you're in a good place, you're in your center, you're in your Zen zone, and you feel good about it. This is not a card that even requires much effort. You've already made the effort and gotten to this place. This is your trajectory now. This is your path now. The Chariot is a card that talks about a person, if you haven't noticed already, who doesn't really need to control his environment, because everything's in order, and he's got that kind of intuition that helps him understand what the pitfalls and what the benefits, the pros and cons are of any situation. And if you look at his hand, he's doing that Jedi mind trick with this hand, which if you're a Star Wars aficionado like me, then you know that that's what Qui-Gon Jinn did in Star Wars to Watto at his parts shop to see if he can get him to accept the currency of Dactarian credits. And he's like, Dactarian credits will do fine. And then Watto says, no, they won't. Dactarian credits will do fine. No, they won't. And then he talks about the only thing he wants is money, only money. So remember here that the Chariot is doing you a service by reminding you that you're doing really well. You're on the right path. You may have had some bitter pills here and there, right? They're probably courtesy of Mercury and Sagittarius, semi-sextile, Bacchus and Capricorn, where you really didn't want to have to face the reality of situation. But this is a kind of energy that speaks to having to say, yeah, I wish I could get drunk and drink the dirtiest tequila this side of the border. But if I do that, I know I'm going to hurt my internal organs, and I'm not going to be able to make an effect or any kind of positive change in the situation anyway. Also with Mercury in Sagittarius trining Minerva and Leo being your solar fourth house, that you're going to see that there will be a harmony that prevails. Surprised? I'm not. Harmony that prevails, that you are actually heard and understood as being wise and knowing, and or you're listening to a person's advice or somebody close to you who's telling you it's going to be okay, and you'll see how well things work out for you. Also on Friday, we've got the Five of Wands, and this is a card that indicates, it looks like a kerfuffle, a cluster fudge. You know what I'm talking about? So this could be where some people are actually going to go ghetto and maybe redneck and slap each other around in the face and break beer bottles over people's heads. And it doesn't have to be that way. This is also a card of creativity where people are competing for a product. Maybe you've got a little store like I know the Family Dollars do, where during certain times of the year they want you to buy specific items and they're not expensive. It'll be like toilet paper, toothbrush, toothpaste, so that they could win a particular competition. And that's what this energy is like. I do want to note that with Mercury and Sagittarius squaring Jupiter and Virgo, your solar fifth house, for those of you that are in a dating relationship, it could spell a little kerfuffle for you too. So the best remedy for this is, yes, dear. No, dear. Yes, dear. Oh, not at all, dear. I don't mind getting you your 17th beer while you sit on the couch and scratch. So just say whatever you got to say, get through it. If this has nothing to do with a romantic dating relationship because you're in a committed partnership, well, there could be a few people trying to insert their opinion in an area that you're not interested in hearing it from. Again, I would say in one ear, out the other, and you'll be fine. You'll have the right things to say because Venus also enters Scorpio here on Friday. Saturday is lovely. We have the Nine of Pentacles, which is a beautiful partner to the Ten of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles says that you're feeling pretty secure, that you feel like you have the material needs met. You feel like everything is beautiful and that you're able to look on the bright and sunny side once more, and with no aspects to mess with it. We're doing good. Now we've got the Two of Cups on Sunday, and no, it is not supposed to be in the reverse. It was just one of my failures. So the Two of Cups is talking about being equally yoked, being good together, being on the same page, whether this is you, your lover, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your spouse, or whether this is you and somebody new that you've met, or even in harmonious ways where your kids are all getting along and everything is beautiful and everybody is happy for a little while. And hey, I think that those are precious moments and we got to cherish them. Even chew them up, swallow them, and regurgitate them like cud just to make sure that they last longer. This is also a day when we've got the Sun in Sagittarius sextiling Mars in Libra, which will give you the ability to tackle projects that might otherwise have been tedious. Maybe it's time to prepare for winter in your world, and you really have kind of put it off, and Sunday you get this burst of energy with other people willing to help you with it. Let's just say that you've got a business partnership and at your structure there's problems with the plumbing, and maybe that person has a friend that can come on work on it. Okay, so don't use this energy to beat people with your fists and your hooves. You know what I mean? Like, don't get into arguments because it isn't necessary. Sun in Sagittarius, semi-sextile Pluto and Capricorn is trying to help you understand that even if situations are a little entangled, they can be untangled. Just tune into your higher power, your higher self, your positive vibes. And hey, what's the worst that can happen? A debt collector sends some stupid note to the door. Get it handled. Do what you got to do. Make them prove it. I wouldn't let it bother me for very long. Mercury there also in Sagittarius squaring Hygeia Virgo is giving us the idea that there are some healing vibes there, even if they did result from confrontation. Mars in Libra is squaring Pluto and Capricorn as well. And again, we know that this is where we've got some things to clear up. Might even involve the law, the legal, the court system, a ticket, a tax, a thing. So whatever it is, just get it taken care of and don't worry about it too much, my friends, because it looks to me that you're right on target for success and to greater harmony. Take good care.